Enefiok, you're welcome to the Sports Roundup on Elegbetetvradio. How are you today, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm very well. I don't know, you've been switching between Pidgin English and Queen's English, so I don't know how to speak, which one I should use now.
First off,
don't let speak my language at all.
No, don't let this side. This radio is uncensored. All those you must speak with quiz English. It doesn't work here. All those rules and regulations, it need to work for here. We talk here like we're talking, like me and you, the hangout. There's no forming. If English allow you describe what you want to describe, use them. If you want to use Calabar describe what you they talk, use them. There is no, now British people create that rule in the first place. Must we follow their rule forever? All the people who I know, let me give you a good example. All the country who I know, their lawyer need to wear wig for it again. Nigerian lawyers say they wear wig. Me, I have decided not to follow that rule. I don't tear the paper. So, bros, let's do it the way they do it. I'm oscillating between both sides, and you do yo-yo. If English come, I speak. If Pidgin come, bros, speak out to me. If I you the hang out now, so would they speak English? Sure, I bet this is not. I put the vessel. I get short fuse. Even though say my name not be FFK, my fuse is short. Do you know who I am? Hey, younger than me. Okay, so bros, let's see the ground. Just not only you have been bully like this, bros, not best. Not only you have been bully like this. You're the only person in this world I can bully, and I'm not afraid. Okay, so let's see the ground running. On the show, you would first of all pledge to tell us the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So, Mr. Enefiok, do you promise to tell us the truth and nothing but the truth? And not come here and tell us, and God did it, we thank the Lord, because that one is not allowed here. And we know God did it for everybody, but tell us the story so that we can learn lesson. Do you promise to tell us the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Well, I would always tell the truth. I don't know which one you want, but I would tell everything. It might not be, my manager might not be very happy, might not be financially very right for me to say everything. So I will tell the truth and nothing but the truth. But that second part where you say, I will tell the truth and nothing but the truth. But that's the second part that you put the whole truth. I think that the whole I will give you a part.
Okay. Any part where you tell me Safana truth, I'm okay with it. All right. We're not going to take up all your economic rights and so that you go hungry, because now hustle, all of us can hustle for this time. But straight up to the point, we need you to help us. We have a blank page. We need you to help us with your story. First, what does it take to make an Olympic champion? That's the beginning of our conversation. What does it take? Next year in our Olympics. So what does it take to make an Olympic champion, as in from here to there? What does it take to go from an aspiring Olympian, which means you don't already become an athlete already, you don't qualify already? What does it take to say, okay, this person, from all of this put in place, this person can win good?
It actually takes the nothing but the truth. It doesn't actually take the person. That's the truth. It takes the person. The person has to decide. You see, we know peace stay for. When I was in I did university, and they want to do Olympic finals. I think that one 1996 finals in Atlanta. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And BBC reporter was interviewing some people, who they think that will win the Olympic. So they now interviewed David Smith, who are Nigerian. It was the morning of the Olympic final. And after interviewing, they said, who does he think will win Olympic gold? He said, it's between Enefiok, Frankie Fredericks, and maybe Donovan Bailey. See, they are very fair, maybe okay. He didn't mention another American, Mike Marsh might be in the mix too. So I was very upset and I was very surprised. You know why?
No.
Because he was running in that race too. His name, he was in the final too. So he mentioned 4 people, he didn't mention his name. Now, we in Nigeria will be there trying to hail him there. Hey, make this man win. Do you think he can win? When even himself, he has not given himself a chance. Not possible.
Maybe he was trying to be modest and humble.
There is no modesty in sports. Leave all that one. You don't go here say if you go interview Ronaldo, say who's the best player in the world. Ronaldo go mention Messi, or Messi go mention Ronaldo. There is no modesty in sports. There's nothing like that. You must believe in yourself. All winners are arrogant. It's a virtue of a champion. You must be arrogant. All winners are arrogant. So if you don't have that arrogance in you, first of all, you can't even make it. There's no gentleman. You can't go to sport and say I'm a gentleman. Then Muhammad Ali won't fight. They greet the opponent. Then they greet after they don't fight finish. When one fight, don't tear mouth. It's okay. Sorry. How are you? Next time, better luck next time. When I was a young athlete, I did starting line. I just tell my guys, best of luck. My coach almost killed me. Best of which luck? Who is the wish luck? People that you're going to run against. You don't wish people luck. So to be a champion, to answer your question, what does it take to be an Olympic champion? That's why you made it very clear that you are already an athlete. You want to be a champion. You must believe in yourself. You must believe. So it takes a dream. It takes a vision. You must visualize it. You must believe. That's the first step. Once you have started like that, you're on the way.
Okay, so let's take it back, because obviously now I know where this your arrogance what you do for me, where it come from. But I know they compete against you. But now from now on, I'll forgive you. I'll take it, because now we also learn to be arrogant, because I want to be a champion in this work what I do. And today I forgive you all my anger with you, since you know you're my favorite athlete in the whole world, Sha. So let's go back to the beginning. At what point did my friend and my brother Enefiok Obong realize that, look, your parents paid you money to go to school? Don't forget, you went to command, you went to university. They didn't study athleticism for university, for any Nigerian university at the time you were going to school. I don't know if they do a national. All these athletics competition are just inter-house sports, inter-school, if finished. At what point did you deviate from what you go study for school to start to run any other follow people?
Okay, if I don't correct you now, I will pay fine, and I will enter very big trouble, because two things they were red. No means say you go there for giving if you call Manchester United and you call Liverpool, you call them Arsenal. You know they forgive that kind of thing. Arsenal. So I went to Nigerian military school. Only one.
Sorry, Nigerian military school. Sorry.
No, command. Command they are civilians. They are small children. So when you say command, we enter trouble if I don't correct you. So please, you have to give a shout out and apologize to all the Nigerian military school ex-boys that you have taken their champion and given to a little minority command.
Say, Mr. Coleman, no vessel.
They can't even come near us. Please, that Temisa will have punished me very well if you don't correct this.
Apology to you, to Temisa and Co, because the frog jump will plenty well, and I not get leg to support myself.
So I started running when I was a kid. I started running right from the earliest race I can remember. Running at 3 years old, running staff children's race. My mother was a teacher, and I think it was in her school they were doing sports day, and we go there, and it was staff children come and run, and I ran and I won. And I beat some older children, even including my brothers who were older than me. I beat them. So that was the earliest memory. Then going into primary school, of course, like you rightly said, is inter-house sports. We always did inter-house sports. I will always active. I will win some, I will lose some. My first adversity and my first experience in training for competition and being that will and determination to win was, I think it was in my primary 5 or primary 6. I think it was primary 6, because in primary 5 there was one boy who had, his name was Shem, he had beaten me. I came second in the team, and he was older than me. He was a year older than me, but then I think he repeated the class, he became my mate. So you don't say, you don't go past me. So he was, so we entered from a six, and I said, I will not allow you to beat me last year. So I started going to the stadium to run. I didn't know what I would, but I started going to prepare, going straight. And then when the sports day came, I ran, I won the race. That was my earliest sports competition.
Okay, so hold on. Your voice seems to be going very low. I don't know if you have to adjust your mic or your volume, but your voice is going low a bit.
Okay, can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, it's better now.
All right. So entering the Nigerian military school, no, military school and soldier school. Soldier like sports. There are no profession in Nigeria that loves sports like the army, and the military they like sports. So we had to do one sport. If it's basketball, if it's football, if it was tennis, whatever it was. Well, you see, I started with the football team, and our team lost. And soldier work is not ordinary work. If you lose, you cannot lose in the army. So we were all punished. And it was not my fault. Now goalkeeper make mistake. They score. They punish all of us, plus the reserve, plus those that try to make the team that did not make the team. They punish them for not making the team.
Jesus.
So I said, which kind of problem is this one now? I will come and enter punishment for something that was not my fault. So I said, let me concentrate on athletics. That one now, individual and me. If I feel, I mean, they go punish. If I win, I will go day free. And that's why I now started taking athletics serious in the military school. And I started doing very well. And then I started having a dream that I wanted to be in the Olympics, but I didn't know how to go about it. I just didn't know it. I didn't like you said, they sent me to school. Now just school I won't do. I didn't have anything that let me go here, let me go there. Until I got into university. And by the time I entered university, the University of Calabar, and they had just finished hosting Nuga. So the sports stadium was still bubbling. They were giving people accommodation for doing sports. And me, I was living inside the staff quarters. But if I got accommodation, I could sell it. So I said, let me try and join this sports team. And one day I was going to lecture, passing shortcuts through the stadium. I saw some people running. They said, those are the school team, they're the best. They are going for West African University Games. So I stood there, let me watch them safe. Is it the best they have in this school? They know Sabi run now. I go run past them. They say, it's a lie.
This arrogance, not so. You just enter school. You just enter school. First thing when you go do, na trouble you go find.
I tell them, when I see them, they run. They say, no way, they. I drop my books. I they wear jeans. I roll up the jeans. I enter. The guy with the work out with me, he say, make a bets. No, we bets. I come tell them, say, I won't run it there. So I run again. They send maybe one of the junior athletes where they coming up. They send and make a run against me. I run, I beat them. But the guy where I take beat them, they said, this boy, if you try there, you go call their champion. That one come, dress with me, I see just where Jim. Yeah, me. Make a, I said, me at the go school, I don't get time. They say, we run again. Then we do. The gap where I beat him, that's when the coach called me. The coach, where am I? Who am I? Am I an athlete? I said, no, I'm going to school. I'm going for lectures. Yeah, I'm even late. The coach said, no, I should come and see him and everything, that I should join the school team. Me, I know we'll get time. When I did medical school, our lecture starts 6 a.m., finish 6 p.m. I know we'll get time. He said, but if you join medical school, they can give you accommodation. That time they will sell accommodation 30K. 30K.
Hammer.
With the 30K in those days. When these are 96, 97 time, $1 was 80 naira. So let's just calculate. If I even 40 naira safe. So they said they'll give me accommodation. I said, okay, they'll give me accommodation, fine. I now joined the school team. That is how from the school team we went to West African University Games. The national coach saw me and the coach said, that I'm doing very well. I should come to Lagos. I should come and train, and I will be. From there, I started the state. I said, okay, they said I should go and run festival. I ran festival. I won about 5 or 6 medals in the National Sports Festival. Then I went to start training with the national coach then, and that's how I got into the mix. So that is how generally I started entering the system of the sport in the national team.
Okay, so there are some informations that sometimes you come across in this athletics thing, because athletics is different from football. Athletics, you are all by yourself. Yes, you will train. In football, you can be a bad player but be in a good team and you will still win medal. You can be an average defender and then you have Messi in front of you, you would win medal. You can even be a bench warmer and play in that Bayern team and you are a treble winner. On the record, you have 3 medals. Whether they like it or not, you won a treble. You will always brag about it. But athletics, boy, now you and your God, though. Everybody is against you, you are against everybody. Now, does it require body type? Because when I look at you physically, you also have certain kind of features that Usain Bolt have. And I've always argued that if Usain Bolt was short like Johan Blake, he would not have set that record. But everyone said, no, it's training, it's energy, it's this. Does being an athlete, does it require a certain body type? Just as basketball is. Somebody like me now cannot go and say, I want to play basketball. I'm useless to the cause. Messi cannot play basketball. He's useless to the sport. Is that the same thing with athletics?
Well, you're going very technical now, and I don't want to bore your audience with technicalities. But as you can see, in athletics, we have 22 different events or 23 different events. So one event will be good for you. If your body is not good for 100 meters, it will be good for 400 meters. If it's not good for 400 meters, it will be good for short put. If it's not good for short put, it will be good for javelin. So we cannot really talk about one body type. Now, when you're talking about sprinting, the sport is always evolving. In those days, 100 meters was for short people with fast leg and very powerful people, because they said that they are very explosive, they are very close to the ground, they will get good starts. And as a matter of fact, it was one of the things that led me to move from 100 meters, which I started. My coach said, go and run 400 meters because you're too tall. But as the sport is evolving, we saw someone like Usain Bolt, 6'3", 6'4", doing very well in the 100 meters. So everybody has their characteristics, everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses. Both may not have been the best starter, but when he's on the move, nobody can near him because his height is an advantage. There are some shorter people that when they are shorter, their height is an advantage. And you put, if you want to use the football analogy, the same thing, Messi might have a low center of gravity. Messi, Maradona, they can be dribbling very good with the ball. But it's not only on the ground that the ball is staying now. You want to score in corner, you want to defend corner, you need to be tall too. Those are the advantages those people we have. So you can have some time, like in those days of the Super Eagles with Clemens Westphal did not like small defenders. All his defenders were huge, were men.
Yeah.
In fact, that was, I think, in the whole time that Westphal was doing it, and that's one of the reasons he never really liked Unduka Ogbadia and Mobi Okparaku, because they had small stature. He felt that defenders should be big, and for his own style of play, that was fine. So any stature you have, any characteristic you have, a coach will always find what is best for you. Either he finds the event that is best for you, or he finds the technique that is best for you. And that's it. So I wouldn't want to discourage anybody or to label anybody that this is good for athletics or this is not good for athletics. Any body type will do.
Okay, so I read your book, Silver Lining. That's one of the best book. Good. This book. So let me talk one story. So where I was working before, Enefiok came and gave me the book, gave all of us the book anyway, and he said we should give it out to our fans. I will bring our own. Me, I'm not gonna lie here. He gave me 5. 1 hardback and 4 paperback. That's what they call it. He said I should give them all out. All that he will bring my own. Me, I gave out 3. I take 1 hardback for myself. It's in my library. If you come to my studio, you see, it's in my library. I'm not the lie. I'll tell you nothing but the truth. Then the paperback, I also took it because one, the mistake I made first was to start reading it. Once I started reading it, it was like that Chris Okotie book, Apocalypse. That book is what you call, you can hate the man, but you cannot hate his truth. The book was so interesting. And I said, hey, this is enough, I'm not giving anyone to. So the next when you come and studio, you see the book, know that is that one that you gave me that you give out. Now, in that book, you enumerated some things that were very amazing, but I want to stay with the Sydney Olympics. You're coming from Nigeria, you were in Sydney, you guys went, it was winter period in the Olympics, and one morning, everybody was cold, everybody was inside, and then your coach, was it Okorodudu, right? Okay, Ebunike.
Yes, Innocent Ebunike.
Okay, Innocent Ebunike was jogging in the snow. And you said to yourself, this guy is not competing. This guy is not here to win medal. We are the ones that are competing. We're saying the weather is too cold. This early morning, this man is jogging. And that is the stuff, like when I watched the movie Rocky or Creed, you know, Anthony's Creed, where he saw Rocky doing the things that he never thought that somebody at that age can do. He got inspired. Was that the moment that made Nigeria to win that gold? Because to me, when I read that book, what I take out of it, and I need you to give me clarity. When I read that book, what I take out of that was, plus all the training that Nigeria trained, all the preparation, all the finances, even though we had our struggles, we won that competition, whether because people were disqualified, not both said the medal go take draw, but we were in the race to win that medal because of that moment. That's my take. But then I wasn't in Sydney. I wasn't at the Olympics. I need to hear from you. Was that the moment where everything changed for us?
I think you're very right, because like I said, and I said in the book, that was the moment it changed for me in Australia. You see, the truth is that Ebunike was not with us initially.
Yeah.
You know, he lives in the US, he lives in America. So we went from Nigeria with the Nigerian coaches and the coaches we had, and we were there training. Coming from Nigeria to Sydney at that time, it was still winter because their own season is different from normal. When it's summer in the West, it's winter there. When it's winter, so it's supposed to be summer Olympics, but at the time that they are picking the Olympics, it's still winter in Australia. So it was very cold. And every time we want to train, when we come, it's very cold. So our coach will say, let's go and rest. Go and rest. You know, it's cold. It's too cold. We can't do anything today. So that is how we've been going for 3 days, 4 days. In fact, we started becoming like a holiday to us. We know it's going to be cold, so we don't go rest. We can't even jog because we can't even sweat. Everybody's freezing. We're just there. We're waiting that the government will give us blankets, give us this. We're not enjoying ourselves more or less. They will bring extra tea, hot sausages. We go to chop. So that's how it was. Then one morning I was actually going to the cafe to have coffee and to have a hot sandwich. And I now saw somebody outside in the camp at this time. When he was jogging, it was very cool. Then he started knocking the door that we should open, because once you go out, you have to open from inside because of its locks.
Yeah.
So one of us now opened the door, and then behold, this man came in, sweat. I will tell us, since the time we left Lagos, I had not seen sweat on anybody. And this man was drenched in sweat, tired. Coach Innocent. I know him. So I recognized him. I said, Coach, what's happening? Where? Then he went to warm up, went to do a light workout. I saw that kind of sweat in freezing Australia, and you're saying light workout. This is a man that had retired for the better part of 10 years. I said, no. If he's doing like this and he's not an athlete, then we athletes, the serious athletes, I'm sure they are training more. Then that means I have to change my attitude. And that's the key. It changed our attitude. And that's one thing when you get someone that is, we had coaches there, but those coaches were not Olympians. Innocent was an Olympian, was an Olympic bronze medalist. So he knew what we needed to do to succeed. And he was showing us by example. And the next day, nobody told us so. All of us went out. By the time we even went out to train, he was there before us. and we started jogging. Started taking that. So our mindset changed. And because we started that, the other things slowly, all the other sports events started coming to join us. That is how the camp kicked off. I would have told you we would have stayed in the training camp for the whole 3 weeks because we're in the training camp for 3 to 4 weeks before going to the Olympics. We would have stayed there without even training. We would have just been enjoying on holiday. It was just like a resort. We were just on holiday. So that's the whole change. And I had to capture this in the book. And I'm just sad for a few of your viewers that are supposed to have those books, and you didn't give it to them. So because of that, I will give you 2 more of silver lining. And we add 1 to make it 3. So you will find a way in any kind of question and answer or lucky dip or anyhow you want to do it. So
Okay.
give out those 3 copies.
Okay, first off, Enefiok, don't be sad, because if I gave them all that book, which I have to get the lesson. See, listen, I called you to my house one day and I told you I want to start testing. I read a John C. Maxwell book, and John C. Maxwell said that leadership is by influence. You cannot lead people into something you don't have an idea of. But he said in that same book, he said that somebody who knows how to tame dog can inspire you to learn how to tame chicken, can inspire you to learn how to tame goats and then lion and all that. So I read that book, and then when I wanted to start this dream, I called you and I said, bros, let's meet. And you did me a great deal of favor. You drove all the way from your end to my house, and we sat down that morning. I didn't even entertain you, Steph, and I'm sorry. And I told you that, bros, this is the road up.
I will come for the entertainment.
This time I can. I'll give you a bottle of water. If I don't have bottle of water, I'll pure water. And I said, this is what I want to do. The reason why I was having that conversation with you that day was that I've seen a man who have gone out to the world and conquered territories that are new to him, territories that he did not have 100% grasp of. So if I wanted inspiration, I needed inspiration from a man who's done something different from every other person, because I was attempting to do something different from other people. So if you remember that day you sat down with your wife in my house and you were talking, I was just looking at your eyes. I was looking like, okay, this advice this man is giving me, they say the eyes don't lie. Is it convinced? So as I tell you, like, oh, can I come to your gym, put my cameras, and we do like short videos of people doing exercises? I was playing with ideas. And you said anything is possible. The energy in you, and I was like, oh, but let me get a dream now. Why is this guy so full of energy? But then I got what I needed that day. I needed somebody to feel my emptiness. The same thing I did when I went to Alibaba, like, bros, you're the captain of this industry. How did you do it? Because I want to go into a new industry. I want to captain it myself. And I started taking, magnetic influence from all of these people. And here we are today. Now we now have a TV station and a radio station that is live and active. So after that Olympics in Sydney, guys came back, and then, they activated your gold medal and all that. Does it make you look back now and say, you know what, if we have another Coach Innocent, we just might be able, and then proper funding, proper grant, and proper preparation, we just might be able to say, because I hear that in athletics, coaching is everything. Get the coaching right, you would win. Usain Bolt actually said it in one interview, that get the coaches right, you will find it easy to win. But get the coaches wrong, even if you have the right body type, the right mentality, the right attitude, you will still lose. And I remember I was watching Sports Parliament one time, and a coach came in and he said something that was very, very, it was funny to me, but it matters a lot. Something as simple as not having the right dentition can make you lose a race. I don't know if that's what the coach said, that your teeth, the way your teeth are, can make you lose a race. So I need you to elaborate on this, that our recent foray into the Olympics, not winning any major thing, is it as a result of not having the right athletes or not having the right coaches?
From my experience in Sydney and as an athlete and as an administrator and coaching, even from what this little anecdote and little story I told you about Innocent, I will tell you that the coach is key. Now, the coach is key is not that I started this discussion by telling you that it starts with yourself.
Absolutely.
The coach has to bring out what is already in you. We are all champions. Everybody. Okay, let me put this scenario to you. If you go outside, you say you park your, I don't know which kind of car you get. I think now you, because of your progress, now maybe you have a Ferrari, and
No,
the headset in
I don't have a
that
car
Ferrari
now.
to some people.
No, I don't have a car.
So,
I don't have a car now. They actually
so
seize they take my car. I don't get car. I'm carless. Don't go and let the people that want to bless me now. I heard that he was talking about my name. My name is on the list of people who want to give car. Don't go and spoil it. I don't have a car right now. I don't have a car. Don't let me form big boy and lose my blessing. I don't have a car.
So that you go out. Let's take for instance. You see, there's a Mercedes-Benz. It's a C-class outside. It's parked there on the road. Then beside the C-class, there is a Peugeot 404. I don't know if I'm going too back in time, but 404.
Yeah, I know 404.
Ordinarily, excuse me. Ordinarily, now if you have to go somewhere and you enter the 404 and start going there, the C-class is still packed. The 404 takes you maybe from Ajah to VI. The C-class is still parked in Ajah. It's not moving. Which car is more useful to you? Is the 404, because 404. It has worked its potential of moving from point A to point B.
Absolutely.
The C-class has the potential to move from point A to point B, but no driver has come to start it. That is how all of us are. We all have potentials in us, but you need a driver to start it. And not only do you need a driver to start it, we need to have the mindset with the potential in us. The C-class can go very fast, probably, but who knows how fast the C-class can go? Nobody can know except it drives that fast. Maybe the manufacturers knows that it has put maybe the speedometer up to 220. It can go to a speed of 220 kilometers per hour. But if it keeps on driving at 40 kilometers per hour, that's all we know. It has the potential to go fast, but if it doesn't apply itself, the manufacturers will not come and push it for you. True. The same thing, God has given all of us potential to bring out our talents. But if we don't apply, we don't change our mindset, we don't try to apply it, we will never succeed. And that's just what it is. So coaching is important, but then the potential of the athlete, of the person, and the mindset, the coach can only bring out what's the potential the man has. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. If you like, go and call Michael Schumacher, or who is the champion, on Lewis Hamilton, to come and drive that 404 very fast. He will never go. If you go as fast as the 404 can go, it cannot go faster than its potential.
True.
So that's just what we try to put up in sports. And when we say coaching is key, you must have the talent and you must have the mindset to succeed. But if you don't get the right coach, those talents will never succeed. That's why you can watch. I know very well you're an expert in football, and a lot of people are football fans, and you are a footballer. You can have a very good team and you have a bad coach. It gets to an extent that the place where the team will win, stop. You don't go reach.
Barcelona last season.
I don't want to talk any this thing because I don't want to make people attack me.
No, I mean, and then
you can even have a very average team like our team and still win FA Cup because you have a coach that has brought out something in them.
Absolutely.
So that's the coaching is key, but the talent you also require. You have to have the talent too, and a lot of training is not just about going on to do the physical training. There's mental training you have to do, and there's a lot of things that the coach has to do. And before we end this, I will give you another thing to another offer which will help people to bring out the best in them.
Okay. One question, and then I go to the project that you're doing yourself to bring all of the next generation of athletes. I saw the video clips that they did from your training, very short video clips. But then the first thing that crossed my mind is an Olympian coming this low to take more like mere clay to form human being. This is amazing for me because I hold you very high esteem, and that humility is mad for me. Like this guy this is vision, going very, very deep, allowing these kids, because for you've been at a Ferrari level. Now you are coming to Danfo level, Keke level, but you're still like smiling and it's okay, no, okay, let's enjoy it. Some people will not, like, no, I'm not at this level. It's like saying that Pep Guardiola should come and coach FC Taraba, God forbid, But there is also the economic side. The other day I interviewed an athlete and she told me about the cost of training, the cost of preparation, and for footballers. I spoke with Edema Fuludu a couple of days ago, and I was very angry about why. Look at you. You didn't play football. You do a sport that is not every day. Footballers earn their money weekly. It's an everyday thing. Yours is until there is championship before you see money. And sometimes your championship don't come all the time. But footballers, whether they wake up or they don't wake up, that money is coming. Now, footballers have this entitlement mentality. They should do everything for them. Edema Fuludu, this was the excuse or the reason they gave. He said, look, footballers all their life, they've had everything done for them. They want to go to the match, the bus is ready, they get to the venue of the match, hotel is ready, food, everything is taken care of. So they don't know how to take care of themselves. When they retire, they start living their life like that until they wake up one morning, there's no money again. But for athletes, you practically are responsible for your coaches, your physio, your trainer, your medical team, almost everybody. How much money do you need to have to produce a world-class athlete? Because you can be the brokest parent in the world and you produce a world-class footballer. But it is looking like just the way tennis is, if you don't have money, you cannot have a world-class tennis player. That's just the truth. Because they need to train them to a certain level before you even get the scholarship that will not take them to the school. So how much money do you need to have as a parent to train, to produce a world-class athlete?
Okay, I'm going to answer your question in two parts. So the first part, you touched about something about the project I'm doing. And I'll just talk briefly about it. It's the UDO Obong Athletics Academy website.
Your microphone is down. Your microphone is down, Honorable. Please put on your microphone.
I said that the first thing I'm doing is the UDO Obong Athletics Academy, and that's the first part of the question I'll answer. And that's the website is uaa.ng, and it's trying to bring a new breed, a new generation of athletes to Nigeria. Athletes that know the sports, athletes that are students of the sports. And that's the problem we normally have. We have people going to run, to run. You must understand the sports. We have a few footballers that understand the game, understand the sport. They're students of the game. They don't just go because they're talented. And I feel that to succeed in life as an athlete, to succeed in life after being an athlete, and to apply the principles on which you use to train into other spheres of your life, you have to understand the sport and understand what you're doing. And the best time to train this is from youth, from kids, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11. Then you start training them 14, 15, 16. And by the time they're 18 and 19, they are very well versed in the sport. They are ready to become champions. And when they're champions, they can handle it very well. They can maximize their earning potentials as champions. So by the time they're going to retirement, then they are very well and they're ready for retirement. And that comes to your Edema Fuludu issue. Athletes who have that problem too, having first class tickets booked for them, traveling from one hotel, everything, and then suddenly you stop your career and then there's nothing. But what has been helping a lot of athletes along the while, especially Nigerian athletes, is that most of time it's been you're getting improvement through scholarships. So you're going to school. It's not like you are under 17 champion and they took you straight to Manchester City and then you just go, you earn some money. You don't. You're going through school, through a process. And you're not really earning so much money, but you're earning an education. And so I think that helps some athletes some of the time and most of the time. But at the end of the day, you look at does this athlete need to, how do we bring up these athletes to succeed and to become champions. And we look at from the youthful time, we must train them both as students of the sport and prepare them as they are young, the age that you say in my academy, I'm preparing them for the sport. When they're in the sport, you start preparing them for life after the sports because it's a whole different ball game. Your life will change, and people don't really understand how. And let me just give a brief of how your life changes. Let's assume you went to school with Peter, and then you graduated with Peter, even if you had the same grades. But because you are doing sports, you're doing athletics, you're doing football, you're doing basketball, you want to continue professionalism in your sports. So you continue in the path of professionalism in sport. You go and train every day, you go to your club matches or you go to whatever. And while you are training and trying to become a professional in your sports, Peter has gone to do one interview and becomes a trainee banker. Then they take him in as a teller. His first 3 years, he's paying money. Your first 3 years, you're trying to become a professional. You now make it. Probably by the time you're 24, 25, you made a professional at a professional level. When Peter is 24, 25, he's maybe teller. By the time he's 28, he's assistant manager. By the time you're entering your 30s, you're now a senior professional. Maybe you're even earning a lot of money, and then people are now looking at you. Then your name is all over the place. When Peter is 30, he's now getting ready for manager of the bank. Probably he has moved to another financial institution, or he has worked in 3 banks, rising in different ways. So he's now known in the financial sector. We still know you in sports. You're this one. You and Peter both read the same thing, or maybe accountancy, but Peter, you have gone in. By the time you're 34, 35, you're preparing for retirement. At 34, 35, Peter has risen to an executive director somewhere. So by the time you're retiring, you've made some money, you want to start investing here and everything. You are retiring, you're a retired athlete. Peter's career is just beginning. He's now an executive director. He's rising to become, so he's just beginning. So his mindset is different from yours. You're still young. You've not really suffered the way Peter suffered as a teller and everything. So his character has built differently. Yours different. You came by money came like that. So you're spending money, you think money will come and go like that. Now you're still in your mid-30s. So you still have this, okay, I can fly to Europe, I can go to Bahamas, I can have this. Peter has learned financial discipline. He has invested in stocks. He has invested in shares. He's in the financial sector. They all know him. Both of you come and meet, maybe your class reunion at 40. You're retired, you spend most of your money, maybe because you are lucky, or maybe you bought house, so you just have house, maybe you have a flat that you're letting rent from. Peter at 40 now is in the leadership position in top companies. Those are the ones that are even deciding how much they will use to sponsor sport. Those are the ones making policies. Those are the ones that the government is calling. You can see that you're on 2 different trajectories. You have done your career, your cycle of your career. It has ended. When you want to talk, they will say, it's not sports, keep quiet, it's not sports. So your life you can go into even depression that way. Because at a very young age, when you're still youthful, when you still have energy, your life has taken a full cycle. Peter is not going to go into that stage until maybe he's 67, 68, 70 when he's retiring. And within that year, in the 40, 50, he's rising in the sector, coming international, globally, expanding businesses. And if you want to go and look for a job now, after you have retired, at 40, you want to go and say, okay, I did account, I want to work in the banks. You're too old to become a teller where Peter entered. And you're too inexperienced for them to put you in the position Peter has, because his experience, he has worked. So you are unemployable. The better part of your years, you have spent it running or playing football and representing your country. We know you. You're a champion. Hey, they hail you. When we see you, we tell you, hey, that time when you play, we like you, then we go leave you and go. We'll come again, we hail you, we leave you and go. But your major part of your life are just, and that's the problem most sportsmen always have. And at the end of the day, you now belittle yourself to start thinking that government should look after you because you represented the government. The government you are talking that should be looking after you and negotiating with Peter, who is now maybe 45, 46, and talking of mega deals and talking of policies. They're the ones deciding that you're there asking that they should give you pension, they should give you this. A young man at that age, or if you have, God forbid, you have a medical illness, they start saying that you contribute, that long ago you did well for Nigeria, or you helped Nigeria. That is the problem of sports people. And that is why I always tell sportsmen that when you're building your education, you have to prepare for your retirement. So you must continue reading, developing yourself, and preparing for what kind of career and what kind of business you're going to go after. Because your life will begin when you retire. So you're already, the advantage you can have, because while Peter, by the time you're retiring, Peter has had like 10 to 15 years of experience, which you don't have. But the advantage you have, which you should now maximize, is that probably you have made enough capital to invest. And if you don't invest right, you don't do the right thing, you don't put your money in the right place, then you will have problems by the time you're.
Okay, so that investment part is where I actually wanted to go, because just about almost every football player today, thank God this generation is better, but if we go back to the 94, class of 94, Atlanta 96, one of the consistent problems that they had was, like you just said, not proper education. Even the one that went to school does not have experience. So we saw, let's even name names. We saw Winston Oruma, for instance, lose about 1 billion, if the numbers that he called for me was true, but that was what they said he lost. And, he went into depression, almost went mental. And then, we've seen other players like that too, because you're playing, you're jumping around. The thing about playing is you begin to have, there's one conversation that Stephen A. Smith of ESPN said one time. He said, when Michael Jackson was a child, they made him an adult. When he became an adult, he missed his childhood so much that he started playing with kids. And then people are blaming him for what he did. Now, he wasn't excusing Michael Jackson for all the accusation and allegation, but it is just what it is. That's the most apt way to describe it. When you play football, and I've been in that area, so I know, the friends you have most of the time are people who cannot talk to you. Because there's a thing that happens with money at a young age. People around you see you as too rich to even get advice. And then you are too young to even have sense to listen to advice. You start looking at them like, if you get this same sense, why you don't use and get money? I have money, so don't talk to me. So they feel like, what, the best way is to give Caesar what is Caesar. This guy like babe, let's arrange babe for her. Now I'm going to take her money. Now I'm going to take that show's jersey. Now I'm going to take that show's boots. Now I'm going to take that, because that's just what happened. If we feel arrange making good new joints, whether we drink and all those things, that's how we can make money off him. So most of the friends you make, and you just said something that I've never thought about, with the illustration you gave. Peter, on the other hand, is gaining experience, growing with people, getting into boardrooms, understanding the rules of one. The simplest thing is to make money. Then there is the part to use money to work for you, to make money work for you. That's like the hardest part in the financial ladder. Very few people have that tricks. So he's learning all of those tricks, he's understanding. He's also learning how to manage himself when there is no money. When there's economic crisis, financial crisis, like this COVID-19 happened, nobody prayed for it. And when it happened, everybody, I saw many people around me complaining. Yeah, we had a lot of conversation about it. I saw many people complaining. I said to myself, well, I don't have a job. I've always learned to be myself. I don't have the need to go to any party. I don't do parties, so I don't attend people's party. I don't go to club. I don't need to buy a bottle of champagne for 1 million naira. So there's nothing to impress anybody with. And we were able to ride the wave. Some other people could not, because there was a particular lifestyle that they just have to live up to. Do you also think that sports people, lifestyle and wrong circle, because whether we like it or not, your circle is a very important thing in life. Lifestyle and wrong circle could also be a determining factor to whether they stay successful after retirement or they live in penury.
I totally agree with you. And what you said at the beginning of people not wanting to talk to you or not able to talk to you is key. And that is why, especially now, you see a lot of sportsmen who are the people closest to them, family. Because those are the ones that can still talk to you. Or maybe your childhood friends. If they are paid, they know you from home. They know me and you, I beg. If they are sincere friends, they will still talk to you. So those are the ones that, especially family, and you see a lot of tennis kids, and even you see their mom or their dad, no matter what it is. Because those are the ones that will have your investment at heart, put your head down, and still be able to talk to you and make sure that you're doing the right thing. Because the ones that come when you're a champion are never going to have your interest at heart. It's going to be very, very hard. So it always has to be family. When you put some of the best tennis players or some great sportsmen, their father, as in the case of Lewis Hamilton, was the manager. We know the Williams sister was their dad and their mom. The mom was manager, the dad was coach initially. We can see Naomi Osaka, the mom is there. And the Murray, the mom was the person. You just mentioned, you put the family first. Roger Federer, his wife is manager. That one, nobody they ask anything. It's within the family. She was a tennis player like him. Immediately, she said, okay, she retired. So let her manage him. Because she knows that his interest. Managers will come, they are more interested in their money. And you can see a lot of you know the issue of Mike Tyson and a lot of black sportsmen that go totally broke. You'll be wondering how much Tyson for almost a decade was the highest earning sportsman.
So you have to be smart. 80 million. And then he went broke.
And then suddenly he went broke. So you have to be very smart. Not everybody that can be as smart as let's say Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he even earned more money after playing and he earned while he was playing.
Yeah.
But you can see that's what you talk about. People have your money work for you. That one, he had his money and his name work for him, and then he sits down. But so I think to answer your question, I think people must be close to you to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. And it must be people that you cannot do away with. You can quarrel with your family. They're still your family. They will still be your family.
Absolutely.
You can decide not to talk to them. They will still be your family.
All right, we've come to the very place where we round up. We hear that there is another book coming. I'm already booking myself to buy that one. If you like, you not give me for free, but I know that I have 3 books on the silver lining. For those of you who watch this video or who are listening right now, let me tell you, I give you my word for free. If you read the book and you do not enjoy it, and there is not a single lesson to learn, from that book, come to this studio and I'll give you $200. But if you come here and you tell me you read the book that you didn't learn any lesson, I should give you $200. I will ask you to tell me the story of the book from cover to cover because I've read that book like 8 different times. So if you like, come here and lie to me. But I'm telling you, go and look for that book, buy it. But I mean, I'm going to get 3 now to give away. Buy it and read the book. Please raise that book up again. Let them see. That's the silver lining book that you should see. You see this book that is on the screen. The Enefiok Obong is raising. Please buy it. Okay, let me even split the screen so that they are seeing both of us. Buy that book that you're seeing there. Buy the book, read it, and then thank me later. But if you buy it and you say, "Oh, I didn't learn any lesson from it," please come here. I'll give you $200. But then, if you have a child that wants to become a sports person, whether footballer, tennis player, athlete, please, as a parent, go and buy that book. You go thank me in the future. You will just sit down for family dining table to just say, Idafi, advise me to buy this book. This book changed my mindset on a lot of things. These are the days where parents should be involved in their children. Not only who go to school. I'm not saying going to school bad, but not only who go to school, they make money. So if your pikin go do sports, it better make you get some information insight ahead before your pikin reach there, go make mistake. You would already know. It will be very, very good for us. The new book that is coming, when is it coming out? What role can we play to push it? And even your academy, what role can we play to make people come to your academy?
Thank you. And my new book, The Gold Mine. This one I'm going to give out 3 copies to people. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram. That's The Gold Mine Official. Then hashtag ELEGBETETV. Then I will choose 3 people from there to give this new one, The Gold Mine, Unleashing the Champion in You. Believe me, this will change your life. If you want to change your life, this will change your life. And that's my second book, my new book. The Silver Lining, of course, I'll give it to you to choose 3 winners. But The Gold Mine, you follow me on Instagram at The Gold Mine Official. Then you hashtag ELEGBETETV. Just hashtag that and send a message and hashtag ELEGBETETV, and we'll choose 3 winners and give them 1 copy each.
All right, thank you very much, Enefiok, writing a book and then writing another one. Professor, since I know they come, so Professor Enefiok, let me be one of the early people that call you professor, sports professor, book professor, academic professor, all of them. Thank you very much for your time on the Sports Roundup on Elegbetetvradio TV radio. God bless you and my regards to your beautiful and wonderful family. And anytime you need us to do anything for, let me tell you that in October, we're doing free October. So celebrating Nigeria's 60th birthday, we're doing free advert for the whole of the month of October. So anything you want us to push within that month on our radio, we're pushing it for you for free. So we'll push the campaign for the whole 31 days in October. Thank you very much for your time on the show.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.